Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is your Lolo Groovy again, doing another project. For today, we're gonna change the CVT fluid of our Mitsubishi 2015 Lancer. Join me while I do this, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell at the bottom of the screen. Let's do it and start the project. Now, let's start by cutting some 2x4 lumber. This 2x4 is going to be used to jack up the car. We're gonna assemble it and put it under the wheels. This is a very safe way and it's reliable. So this is how I do it. Oh, and by the way, these 2x4s are not going into waste because after this project, I'm gonna use it in my vegetable garden as a fence. Gagawin kong pambako dito sa aking tanim na gulay. Before jacking up the car, measure the amount of fluid you have in the transmission. Mark the fluid level on your dipstick with a cutter. Another way of measuring the fluid in your transmission is to measure the amount of fluid you took out from the transmission. The rule of thumb is that the amount of fluid that you put in should be the same amount of fluid that you remove from the transmission. Now it's time to jack up the car and put the 2x4 lumber under the wheels. To get access to the transmission, we need to remove this plastic cover. You can pry out the fasteners with the use of a small screwdriver. If the fastener is hard to remove, spray it with TW40. Here is the plastic cover that we removed under the vehicle. There is 19 fasteners that I took out from it, and there's a 10mm bolt that you have to remove to get it out of the way. So here's the transmission drain. This one is the drain plug. It's a 17mm bolt, and after draining it, we need to remove the transmission cover. And these are the bolts that you have to remove. These are 10mm bolts. So let's drain it and start removing the bolts. Screw back the drain plug and start removing the bolts. Lower the back portion of the pan and let the fluid drip. After all the fluid dripped out, remove the pan. With a clean cloth or a paper towel, pat dry the transmission. After wiping out the excess fluid, slowly remove the gasket. After removing the gasket, gently clean the surface with the use of a cutter blade. After the cleaning is done, it's time to remove the filter. When removing the bolts, take note of their position. Remember that this bolt is longer than the other two. Do not forget because this is very important. After removing all the bolts, just slide down the filter. Wipe clean the area where the filter will sit. Wet the filter O-ring with CVT fluid before installing. Then tighten the bolts. Clean the pan thoroughly with a clean cloth or a paper towel. Remove the two magnets and wipe it clean. The purpose of these two magnets is to collect all those metal shavings that came down from the transmission. After wiping everything clean, install back the two magnets. I put a thin layer of silicone on both sides of the gasket just to make sure that there will be no leak. Since I'm not in a hurry to finish this project, I let it sit for 2 days just to drain the fluid out of the transmission. Before installing the pan, wipe clean all the area that will be in contact with the silicone. Tighten the bolts starting from the middle going outwards. Then finally, torque the bolts to 69 inches per pound. The CVT fluid is the life of your transmission. So only use specified CVT fluids. Insert a small funnel into the transmission dipstick tube. This is where you're gonna fill the CVT fluid. In my case, I measured the amount of CVT fluid that I took out from the transmission, and it measured 5.5 quarts. So I'm gonna put back 5.5 quarts, no more, no less. After filling the CVT fluid, check the level on your dipstick. Now start your engine. From park, shift to reverse, then to neutral, and to drive. Repeat the process so the CVT fluid will spread out to all the parts of the transmission. Hello, there we go. We're done with the project, and I hope you find this video helpful. And thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Please like and share the video. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for more updates. Thank you so much, and God bless us all.